if this world keeps contracting and expanding, then Jesus is going to come again in the next cycle. But that's another issue. But the main one for me is, like, let's not say I'm trying to avoid the word beginning, but I can't sort of get around it. And this is my thing for even mentally analysing this scenario. I'm lacking the verbal words for it. But what I'm trying to say is, did it expand first, or did it contract first and then expand? And one must have, chicken or the egg, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And
the point is that
to me, this is why
I said that the existence that existence is infinite, and you haven't quite just. You haven't taken that, which is what you started out saying to me. Well, if you think existence is infinite, and then you were going to disprove it somehow, but you went somewhere else. So I'm not quite sure what that was about.
I guess what I'm saying is, as a human being, I definitely don't, but I don't think us.
And I don't see how that comes. Means I said it comes from nothing.
The whole species have the mental capacity to actually comprehend what infinity means.
Right, but can you at least...
We're so used to cause and effect, starts and ends, and that to me is an echo in the creation of the origin.
Okay.
But this is where it's all leap of faith.
Can you at least...
But do you see where I'm implying the God? Because of that infinite...
Can you at least...
circle can't be possible.
Can you at least let them know that I don't think that something came from nothing, as you claim that you claim that I did think? Because that was a misrepresentation of my... No, it was... Yes, it was a misrepresentation of my position.
But it isn't, though.
And I would be more than happy to talk about my position, but I don't think you are qualified to talk about my position, just like I am not qualified to talk about your position. I ridicule your ideology and your Sky Daddy and all this kind of stuff, because
the correction I'm making is that I thought my understanding of what you said was that it came from nothing because there was no initial creation or entity, because it's been constant. Imagine like a wristband. Imagine like a wristband.
You just don't understand the concept.
Imagine I put a washer. A washer is better, because a wristband you can see the lock.
You don't understand the concept of infinity, perhaps. Maybe you should think.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, if there's no beginning and no end, then something could feasibly come from nothing, because it didn't come from anything. It was already there. It didn't. What I'm saying is right, but it's being misunderstood. It's my misunderstanding of your interpretation because you did say, I'm not saying you're saying it came from nothing, as in there was a beginning that came from nothing. I'm saying that you said that it came from nothing because it was already there in this infinite, which is true. If that's the case, then what you're saying is true to the theory, but I don't think it's a plausible theory, because every single thing, without question, in life, in this universe that I witness, has a cause and effect to
theory,
it.
But not a plausible theory.
No, but what I'm saying is, if I'm taking a scientific view of life, where we're learning these patterns, science is learning patterns and then applying them to predict things. I know that if I strike a fucking match and then put it to some paper, I can predict that paper's going to go on fire. Is that prophecy or prediction? It's prediction from patterns, from observing patterns, right? And all I'm saying is, well, if we're meant to learn patterns from life, and when we do learn patterns from life, they seem to stand us in good stead, then one of the major fucking patterns we see in life is that everything has a cause and effect at a beginning and an end. And that's all I'm saying. So when I look at the universe, no, I'm not. This now is irrelevant to your point. But what I'm saying is, once I reach that point of thinking that everything has a cause and effect, then to my brain, to my human tangible brain, I can't imagine this infinite cycle, because it doesn't fit with anything I've witnessed in life. Because everything I've witnessed in life, and we now know even the sun will have an end. It's going to keep expanding and expanding until it runs out of energy, and then it will contract and contract by the vacuum, which fits your theory. So yes, I do think this expansion and contraction and evolution is happening, But to me, there was still an initial creational energy entity that started it all. You know,
when I propose that it's infinite, how do you?
But mine's a stronger scientific
How do you crowbar?
My theory of it coming from something.
I'd like to
finish.
This
is an important point, and I'm finished.
I was asking a question. I'm gonna ask the question.
No, but it conforms.
No, you can't answer a question. You cannot answer the question before I've actually asked it. You're not that kind of a prophet.
No, but I was still finishing my point.
You're not that good of a prophet.
I was just finishing my point. I bet
you asked me a question.
Yes.
Right.
He's rewording his question now, so it's no. See, I'd scare you, Sid. I'd scare you, mate. You know I was just right both times. Don't make me say it 3 times, man. 3 times hurts.
Okay, I'm good. Okay, now can I start? Can I finish? Without you chuckling, interrupting, coughing, mute yourself if you don't mind.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's good. So what you're saying is, what I'm saying is, existence is infinite, right? Which means it has no beginning and it has no end. And you're saying, yes, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but there has to be a creator. So I don't understand how you're trying to crowbar that has to be a creator into the circle of infinity, right? It doesn't work. If infinity is a circle and you have a creator, you show me where the starting point on that circle is, then okay, then there's the creator. But you can't, because there is no starting point on a circle. That is the dilemma, and you can't have it both ways in this situation.
No, but what I'm saying is
a circle, and you can have a circle, but you can't have a starting point on a circle. That's
right. Can I just address the first point you made? Let's do a point at a time. You're filibustering, and by the time you finish filibustering, I'll forget the first point. Right. I'm not crowbarring it in. All I'm saying is, yes, I understand I can mentally visualize the concept you're talking about, and you're not unreasonable.
That's infinity,
and you're
right?
but you're not unreasonable for thinking that. But when I think it, from my perspective, the only reason I dismiss that is because it contravenes every other thing I see in life from my own perspective, from looking at science.
Exactly what I said. You have a point on that
science
circle.
Is telling me that everything has cause and effect, and even science agrees that. But it seems that when we get back to this point of the Big Bang, and this is where I feel like science feels like it's got to dismiss God at all costs, because of some perverted view it has of what God is. Yes, the God you're thinking of that doesn't exist probably doesn't exist, but that does not mean that any God doesn't exist.
Hey, you're the one who made it very clear in the beginning that it was the creator, and that's the same creator that we are referring to. Nothing different.
When I talk to atheists, the more I learn,
to the one
can I just say one thing?
We're talking to.
This is important. I don't think anyone on G Plus has ever said this before. But when I hear atheists talk about the God that they don't believe in, I don't believe in that God either. That's the thing. I agree with atheists. The God that you're saying does not exist. I agree with you.
I said the God that you, the creator that you,
or any gods. No, you don't. Trust me, I'm not sure what God I believe in.
Okay, you've lost the argument. You've lost the argument. You're backpedaling. You're in a corner.
I'm not backpedaling. I'm just maintaining what I've always. I'm standing strong. I'm standing strong, Sid.
Cheers,
I'm standing strong. I'm not backpedaling.
Yeah. No,
if I look like I'm going away from where I'm standing, it's because you're backpedaling, not me. I'm where I've always been.
And what am I backpedaling?
What
am I backpedaling from?
I don't know, but you're saying I'm getting further away.
What position am I backpedaling from?
I'm getting further away, then it's you that's moving.
What I've said to you... Excuse me, with all due respect, Mr. Tom, Phantom, Prophet, with all due respect, all I've said to you was that my view is that the existence is infinite. That existence is infinite. It's a circle. There's no beginning. There's no end.
And
that is my point of view. I'm asking you
but you're saying that I'm crowbarring in. Hold on. Yes.
Let me ask you.
How come he's still talking?
I have not finished. I have not finished.
Oh, yeah, but I've already heard it and I've already agreed with it.
I'm not going to ask you a question.
Look, there's no issue, really.
I'm going to ask you a question. I haven't asked you a question. I made a statement. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Okay?
But I'm agreeing with what you're saying. All I'm saying is, what's not very well into the conversation. I'm just saying that.
Don't tell me how to answer this question. I'm going to answer the question just like I want. Shut the fuck up, so I can shut the fuck up, so I can make the statement and ask you the question. The statement is that the existence is infinite, represented by a circle. That's like an infinite, no beginning, no end to a circle. Okay.
Yes, I understand the concept.
The question is to you: where on that circle do you put the beginning?
This is what I'm saying. I can't put a beginning or an end, and that is why I dismiss the theory, because if every bit of scientific knowledge I've learned stands true, then there has to be a beginning and an end, which is the basis for dismissing the eternal Earth theory of the expansion extraction, because it would not have you're correct, unless if you look at the Saxon fucking treasure, where they've got bracelets. Or the snake. Have you ever seen the snake biting its own tail?
La 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 la.
That's the circle with a beginning and an end, but it never ends. This is a philosophy that humans have been thinking about for years.
Mumble.
Well, of the last few minutes, who's contributed more to the thought? I mean, maybe thought's not your strongest point, but if you think about what I'm saying, I'm not making any irrational points. I'm not straw manning your argument, and I'm not talking over you with waffle like a child. Blah 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 blah. Come on, I've got respect for you, Sid. I'm trying to play with you. I'm giving you all the ground to make your argument. And I think the thing you're trying to avoid is the fact that, yes, do you know what? Phantom Prophet has got sound, rational and reasonable theories about a potential creator, because you're so adamant that God doesn't exist. And yet, the more I learn about your God, according to you, God's a pixie or a fairy, if that's what God is to you, then I agree that
where do you hear me say God's a pixie? What the fuck?
You tried implying that I believed
in a fantasy world.
You tried implying that I believed in pixies, fairies, and unicorns earlier.
Jesus Christ! All right.
You're the one that's when you're.
I rest my case. Whatever. You can go to pictures and fairies now if you like.
Right. Let me just ask one simple question.
No.
Is it?
You've already discredited yourself. Why should I give you 1 second of my time?
Is it unreasonable? Well, don't then.
Thank you very much. Exactly. I don't. That's it. You just run along, little boy. Stay in school. That's all I can say to you.
Oh,
I must admit, that's just as bad as him calling that other guy fat.
Well, yeah, I was trolling the. No, come on. I can take him calling me mental and schizophrenic. But then I'm not allowed to say anything back.
I never called you anything.
All I was doing, Cheese, I'm not that much thinner than the cunt.
You talk too much, though, Franklin. You do talk too much.
You what, sorry, Cheese?
You talk too much. You take 3 days just to explain your opinion. But, you know...
I know I can waffle on a bit, but it is a valid point. If you listen to the actual words I'm saying, at least I'm saying something. Meaningful. It takes me a while to think of the correct words, to be honest.
That's hilarious.
Imagine if in real life, if I was sitting with someone like you in real life.
You'd be looking at your watch. What the fuck? I got to get to my next whatever.
Hey, talking about how long it takes me to speak, how long Scaff been on the internet, and how has he come out with a word yet?
But he doesn't keep us in suspense, or he doesn't.
Yeah, Scaff, I'm throwing you on the
It's not that he keeps us, he keeps interrupting so that we can't say anything. Like, why do you even bring him up?
This makes me laugh.
I sense deflection, Your Honor.
There's 4 or 5 people badgering one person, and then they wonder why the one person talks a lot.
I ain't picking on you on that. I just thought I'd say.
I'm appointing Dan Corner as Justice Minister of this hangout.
Oh fuck! Well, that's me. Fuck then. I'll hang myself. Give me the rope. Let's just be done with it.
But I reckon I'm with you, Phantom. I believe more what you say than what Sid and that would say, like, believe whatever. Not even saying I'm right. Like I've already said, I don't even research shit. I just choose what feels right in my heart.
What you on about, God or Big Pharma?
Just lots of stuff that you said, or some of the stuff you said.
Well, believe it or not, mate, I actually believe what I say, and I've got reasonable things. My thought process behind my thoughts is reasonable to me, but I'm willing to. I don't mind people asking me questions and criticising me, but then it's pointless if they're just gonna say, "Oh, you believe in this, that, and the other," and dismiss it. Then where do you go with the conversation from there, other than an argument?
Looking out your ass, mate.
You know, you're just gonna get in an argument. I'm actually interested in whether there is a God. I think that's what my driving force is. I want to know, is there a God?
All these different opinions, when it gets into like constant dispute, I ain't got the patience for it.
That's why I've been online, mate. Yeah, I've avoided being online because of that. When all the Tom Artis shit kicked off again after he got a job, I just thought, oh, fuck this shit. I'm off for the week. Been catching up on
you think
Netflix.
We all went to his house and camped outside his house? Do you think, is that what you think? Did we all go to his house and camp outside his house and make his life?
No, I've heard there's been a few phone calls to his workplace, mate. That weren't.
I don't know of anybody.
And also, right,
I don't know of anybody who supports that. I don't know of anybody who supports that. And
yes,
a lot of people have come out. A lot of people come out and said that's wrong. And
yes.
And
I'll give you.
I think that's settled by now. I think we have spoken as a community that it's not within the rules to go to somebody's workplace, especially in the situation that with Tomada. That's my.
And also, I'm going to give you all a little heads up here. A couple of weeks ago, it was made law. It's actually on the books now. They've made the first 10 arrests or something. It was in the paper. Trolling is now illegal in the UK. And trolling, when you look at the legal definition of what it is they're going after people making private... And it was the day before you dickheads found his workplace. And I thought, oh my God, they're all going to get arrested now. It's like... So you couldn't make it up though. It was all over the UK news. Oh, trolling is now illegal, and we're all arguing about free speech.
You're a wealth of information, really. Thank you.
Well, yeah, but then the very next day, some of them go and fucking phone his workplace, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly the sort of behaviour they're trying to.
Oh, so why don't you make a comment about how many people said it's the wrong thing to do? Maybe balance it out a little bit. You like to balance life, don't you? Why shouldn't you balance out the information that you give out?
I did say, when you said that, you pointed it out, I said I did notice from the video where I've seen it being talked about that you did condemn it. And I said, fair play to you for condemning it.
I'm not the only one. How many people actually supported...
Well, I don't know. I ain't been online much this week. I caught about half hour of podcast Friday and about half hour of it Saturday.
You don't have to be online to see the
more
comments.
Drama.
You don't have to be on a hangout to see the comments.
Do you not think that we should be doing something more productive than phoning people at work and moaning about who said this, that, and the other? You know,
I think we shouldn't be.
It's the thing with conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theorists come to the table with a purpose. It's like, I've seen something wrong with the bill. No, I'm going to go on the internet and find like-minded people, and maybe we can do something about this. And then there's these people on the internet that they're not. What reason are they on the internet for? But then when you meet them mocking you and ridiculing you, and you think, hold on, you're part of the problem of the cure. This is what not any aimed at anyone in particular, just humans in general, are we part of the problem of the cure? And I think that's where you're going to find God. You're going to find God is the thing in nature that says this is the fine line we need to fucking follow. If you go too far to the left or too far to the right, you're going to go off the cliff. And it goes for everything, whether it's humour.
See, this is where we start to worry about you when you start talking about that.
That's visionary, man. Vision. They wouldn't be called visionary if everyone saw it. They'd just call, it's what it is. It's what it is.
Do you really think that you have some sort of a special?
I know I have. Don't get me wrong. took me many years to gain this confidence, but it's taken many adversarial moments to realise that, you know what, I'm right. I've met doctors, nurses, physicians, psychiatrists, intellectual fucking gurus, philosophy, can't even say it, philosophy gurus, monks, people you'd call shamans and stuff. And read research. A good one is The Art of Dreaming, because it's not just about dreams. It's about what are your dreams telling you? What is that thing inside you? No one really controls their dreams. So what is it in the human psyche that creates us to have these visions when we're dreaming? And trust me, there is an energy, the energy in our life force.
Trust you about, I should trust you, really. The man who says
well,
God.
No, I'm just, when I, right, it's a colloquial thing. Where I'm from, hold on, get off your high horse. When I say trust me, that means I'm being honest when I say. It's not saying, oh, trust me. Trust me, trust me.
When you say trust me, you're not saying trust me.
In Brum, or maybe the rest of England, I don't know, I can only speak for Brum, but when we say trust me, it means, mate, I'm being honest.
I don't live in Brum. Live in Brum. I'm from Yorkshire.
Right. Yeah, from my point of view. Yeah, of course. No one knows the fucking truth, Sid. Don't trust no one. Trust no one. If you want to take the word trust no one, Sid. But if you ever hear me say trust me, what I'm really saying is I'm being honest when I say what I'm about to say. It's like, look, I'm not. What I'm saying is not a lie.
You're just a lying piece of shit, right?
Maybe I should. All right, for you, I'm going to start using the word. I'm being honest when I say.
Well, look, I'm going to take it for granted that when you open your mouth and say something, you're being honest. If you're not, if that's the exception, then say, okay, I'm not being honest about this, but blah 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 blah. That should be the exception, okay? But if you're going to say, oh, every time I say something honest, I'm going to tell you I'm going to say something honest, then that becomes a little suspicious.
No, it's normally because I'm about to say something. What we're doing, when we say trust me and then say something where I'm from, it means what I'm about to say is like put it in highlight the fucker, underline it, write it in bold, bookmark the fucker, like mark my words. I know that's been picked up on.
No, because why should we?
No, but yeah, you shouldn't, Sid. You shouldn't. But if you want to actually learn what I'm thinking, if you want to argue against what you want to argue against and not listen to what I'm actually trying to say, then that's for you.
I know what you're saying, but I know that your presupposition is garbage, and because of that, I know what you're going to say.
What is my presupposition? What is my presupposition? You're saying it's garbage. What is garbage then?
You cannot crowbar your creator into the model of infinite existence that I have presented you in the form of a circle, which indicates no beginning and no end. It's a circle, infinite. You have not convinced me that you can crowbar anything like a beginning, or you could point to anywhere on that circle, or that you could point to anywhere on that circle and say this is where the circle starts.
Right, now I've understood your point. Have you finished? Right.
Yes.
I understand the circle, and I granted you that. I said there is no beginning and end to the circle. But that's where the human imagination comes up with symbolism and shit and art. Art is the future. Your imagination. I mean, you inspired me. You'd have to. You're part, right? If I am part of some living fucking organism and to trust my fucking senses, and we're in this universe, and my consciousness came into being apparently for no reason and purpose, then there's something called inspiration. And even people that can't see inspiration are inspirers. You inspired this whole God's imaginary thing to me. And I know you meant it in a dismissive way. But then I thought about it and I said, do you know what? The fucking cunt's right. He's fucking right. It is imaginary because that's where God is born in our imagination. But then where did our imagination come from? All these molecules came together to make this consciousness. So it could imagine shit that isn't there. And I'm like, no, maybe the thing was already there and it's created us to manifest itself from. Maybe that's what God's done. God's created the universe so we can imagine the cunt.
Phantom, is Zeus real?
It looks real. I'm not sure if it's already been eaten. It looks like something that come out your back end.
Okay, Phantom, is Thor real?
You what?
Is Thor real?
Thor?
Yeah, is he real?
Thunder's real. What is Thor? What does Thor do? How could I
How about
notice?
Odin is real, right?
Right, how could I notice?
You have heard of Odin.
No, I'm going through the thought process that I will go through. I don't know yet. I'm going to go through this thought process live with you. Right, what is Thor? Thor's a god, isn't he? The hammer god, thunder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, does thunder exist?
Yep.
What other attributes do we need to prove that there might be a Thor? I don't know. I'm not big on Thor. What are his attributes? What did he part the waves or anything?
Well, let's apply what you just said. You just said that because you can imagine things, that proves there's a God. So why?
No. I'm possibilities. It's possibilities and probabilities, isn't it?
So is it probable that Thor is a real God?
Depends. I wouldn't put much weight on it by that analysis because
Why?
I don't know many of his attributes, so I couldn't say. You know, you're asking me to identify a cancer, and I don't know the symptoms.
What attributes does your current God have?
Well, I don't have this God thing that I worship. It's something that I'm aware of. It's here, living, breathing in us all. It's in the molecular structure of everything. It's not a deistic deity thing. It's an energy. It's like electric. I think electric's got a lot to play with it, and that's why our brains work.
Yeah. Thor is very electric. There's more by that definition.
Well, we would have no imagination without the brain having electric current running through it.
Yeah. Well, Thor created your brain with his bolt of lightning.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it Thor. I think it goes far beyond a guy with a hammer, but I can understand where the concept came from.
Think about that. One little sparks your heart, your brain. It's that pulse of energy in you, and that lightning that Thor creates is the same thing.
Yeah, the laptop, all of this technology that runs off electric. I mean, it's like oil. We don't really need oil as long as we can generate electric somehow. We've got power. And that's why electric's the future. Well, renewable energies, things like solar power. What people need to be doing is generating electricity. Don't worry about mechanical combustible engines and stuff. Oil's going to run out. That technology is going to become a fucking paperweight in the garden. You know, everything's going to be electric motors, electric driven. You want high torque motors, low torque motors, fast motors, light motors, frictionless motors. I mean, windmills are the future, really, because if it blows one way, you're creating electricity. If you
but let's stay on topic, though.
The way you're creating a motor. Oh no, but I'm saying, mate.
Let's stay on topic. So
can't you say no? But
that electric pulse makes the molecules move and it makes everything.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. That electric pulse is running through everything, from windmills to the atmosphere to the human body, the brain, the organs. It's all electric. Well, electric hasn't got consciousness. So for me, this spirit thing we call spirit comes in because this electric seems to be
that electric moves the neurons. It's all a bunch of electric firing up here. You know that, right? Yeah. It does create consciousness. They can see it under a scan.
Yeah, but when you say it like that kind of
like this, it's traveling the speed of light in your head. Every little neuron in your head is doing that. Every nanosecond, it's doing this.
But when you put it like that, don't you think you're just dismissing the glory of the mind and what is held in the imagination? Every invention came from the imagination. Every story ever told came from the imagination. But imagination is inspired by life and things we see. When we see a sunset, it inspired poets to write poetry. There's something at fucking work here, mate. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying, really, I guess my biggest gripe with this talking about God is the fact that people try to dismiss a belief in God or a greater purpose or energy is some sort of foolish, it's like the fodder of fools type thing.
Bulldog.
It's perfectly rational. And no one knows the answer at the end of the day, so it's pointless arguing about it.
It's not rational at all to think that there's some God out there, or whatever you want to call it, that was never created by anything.
No, but
Hold on a second.
This is what I'm saying about it.
Hold on.
God, I don't believe in again. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever you believe in. So whatever essence.
When you're saying this is irrational, well, that's not a thought I'm having.
I'm not finished talking.
God out there.
Hold on. How is it rational?
I'm saying there's a God in here.
Let him finish. Tom, let him finish.
You.
Good for you. How is it? How is it rational?
Gods.
How is it rational?
We've got Sid. We've got Sid.
Rational.
Thinks he's a Levine Christian.
How is it rational? 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 How is it rational to think?
Doesn't even know Levine.
How is it rational? 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 How is it rational to think that your essence could come from nothing, but my universe cannot come from nothing? Explain to me what created your essence. Let's play this little game that you have where your belief in your little deity or your essence or whatever the fuck it is you believe in has no creator, it just existed, poof. But my universe can't just poof itself into existence. Explain yourself.
Solves the circle, you're dropping the ball one step too soon with the infinite circle theory, because there must have been an instigator, right? What the theistic point of view says is that the cycle ends with the beginning initiation moment. Well, that would have been by a theoretical God. You know, we're saying the constant expansion and contraction. Well, yeah, that can go on forever and ever and ever, or it can go on for a very, very fucking long time and then have a beginning. It's just exploring different theories. Well, the one that stands true to a scientific principle of cause and effect is the theistic one, but then it drops the ball at that point later. You're dropping the ball in saying this can go on and on forever, but never have a beginning and an end. Well, that sort of flies in the face of everything we know from the process, that everything does have a beginning and a fucking end, you know, and a cause and an effect. It's not theists that are saying that science is bullshit. It's atheists that are saying science proves what it's not proving.
Atheists are saying science is bullshit. Okay.
Right. In probability, science increases the probability of a creational entity more than it does increase the probability of a eternal.
Yeah, Sydney, are you hearing this crap? He's basically trying to say that science proves God.
Cause and effect.
Piece of propaganda I've ever heard.
Exactly what
hold on. Transference.
No, you said science proves.
Let me explain it. Right. It's my point. Let me explain it. Dudes, please. Right. We all know the thermodynamic principle. Energy can't be destroyed or created. It can only be transferred in form. Like, you burn a rock, the energy from burn a fucking wood block, and then that energy is going to transform into heat, light, smoke. Energy is going to permeate from it and transform until it's ashes, right? The theistic principle that conforms with this thermodynamics of energy is that the universe would have been a transference of energy from some other form of energy, like we see in fucking keep saying rocks, you can't burn rock, fucking wood. When we burn wood, we see the transfer of energy, right? It's from one form to another. It's there in potential in the wood, and we release it as kinetic energy into the atmosphere, as heat, as light, and that's what we get, right? Now, a god would have been of one sort of energy, right? Now that energy transforms into another form of energy. We don't know the process, don't know the mechanics, but there was a strike of a match, an ignition period. It echoes through the whole of creation. It's like from conception to birth to death. It's a pattern, patterns. Notice patterns is science. Well, why does science get to the Big Bang and drop all the patterns it's learned and say, oh no, it's just been going on, just been going on forever. There's no cause of a different energy, of a different matter that we don't know about yet, because it's not within this universe. Or is it the energy within the universe? If there was an energy outside that we call God and it made the universe, then that energy would be inside the universe. And therefore what I'm saying is right. It's electric. It's in us all. It's in everything. It's in the ecosystem. Without electric, there'd be no ecosystem, no planetary activity. Fuck all, there'd be nothing. It's glorious. Look at it. You're asking me to prove that everything's because of a God. Do you really think I can answer your dumbass question? Well, it's not a dumbass question. It's the question that man's been asking forever. It's like, what is this thing called God? But we can't say there is no God just because we can't define it. That's like saying there's no AIDS because we don't know what it is yet. Or there's no cancer because we can't identify it. You know, that's all I'm saying. It's not unreasonable to be theist, mate. That's my point. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a bank to rub.
What did he say at the end there?
He said that it's perfectly reasonable to be a theist, and so therefore he's implying that it's unreasonable to be an atheist.
Nope. That's your added bit. Did I say that in any way, shape, or form?
The most unreasonable concept is the fact that you have a mystical entity or whatever
Perfectly reasonable
that had no creator. Hold on. That had no creator, but my universe can't have no creator. Only your little special superhero Sky Daddy, whatever the fuck it is, has no creator. But my universe, but my universe can't have no creator.
The more you describe this God you don't believe in, the more I agree with you, Dan. I couldn't agree with you more. If that is what you think God is, couldn't agree with you more. That God don't exist. But that ain't the God I'm trying to describe. You're thinking of some bearded guy on a fucking throne, dude. Good luck with that belief.
I don't know what the fuck it is you're talking about. There is nothing special. Once you're dead, you're fucking dead. That's it.
Maybe we make our own dreams. Maybe that as we die, time slows down to the point where our last thought is forever.
Yeah, dude, I'll put a bag.
Can you imagine going to sleep? Imagine. I am pulling your fucking chain, but can you imagine? Can you imagine at the point of death and your last thought is like, right, you got countdown, 30 seconds to go. Whatever you're thinking for the last second of your life is going to be an eternal thought in your fucking head because time just slows down so much. It's almost like forever.
You got to kick the drugs, man.
No, it's just imagine it, man. Imagine all the people.
Yes, imagine a world with no religion. That's the fucking point of that song.
Just because it's imaginary doesn't make it unreal.
If there were no religion,
we can't measure inspiration, but we know it exists. It's a conceptual thing, and that's what God is. It's a conceptual thing. It's like, I really, Sid, mate, I wish I could hug you sometimes because the fact you inspired this train of thought in me of like, fuck, he's right. God, what's wrong with God being imaginary? Our imaginations came from somewhere. And we are so special. I don't see my dog thinking of God's concepts and sitting down having a beer with his mates talking about where the fuck they came from. You know what I mean? It's like humans do. It's like where we come from, I don't know. Do you reckon it's this? Do you reckon it's that? Of course, no one knows. So we're going to get it right. It's no good saying, oh, we can't talk about God because no one fucking knows. And getting triggered and shit because you ain't got an answer. You know, no one knows. But then don't mock those that dare to think about it.
Yeah, but you know there's a creator because nothing can be created or destroyed, whatever the fuck you're talking about. You don't even understand the principle.
Crucial words down. You keep adding crucial words that I'm not saying. Like
you don't understand thermodynamics. You don't understand.
You're saying you know because of X, Y, and Z. No, I'm not saying I know.
I'm saying
what I'm saying is I think. Therefore I am, and these are the reasons I think what I am. I'm not saying I'm special. Mate, dude, no, I'm not saying I'm no. Sorry that my brain created the Phantom Prophet. It's an imaginary, like, fucking creational character.
There is no evidence, sorry.
I'm not the Phantom. Google asked me for a fucking name when I joined. Well, YouTube, when I joined.
There's no evidence.
The only name I could think, I thought, I don't want to be on here as my real name, because there's all sorts of weirdos out there.
Your real name is Peeping Tom.
Well, whatever, mate. You don't want to know what they call you, Syndrome. Anyway, it's nothing. It's not like I'm coming on here saying, oh, I am the Phantom Prophet. Yeah, I've had a life experience, for fuck's sake. Like it don't make me special. Everyone has these life experiences. Everyone's got an imagination. Everyone fucking experiences trauma and happiness and hot and cold and wet and dry and fucking hell, that's life, mate. Just saying, don't mock those that fucking think a bit deeper, that's all.
But you're not thinking of anything deep. You have no evidence. There's no rationality to anything.
Mate, you all know. You see,
it's all anecdotal speculation.
But I know that them words I've said tonight have had an effect. You're all now thinking, fuck, maybe... And it's thanks to Sid.
It's all anecdotal speculation.
It's thanks to an atheist, someone with the freedom to question, because yes, the God that you don't believe in, we don't believe in either. And the religion that you hate, we hate too. The hypocrisy, we hate it all. But theists believe in some sort of good behind it all. That's where we project our own good. But there's still an energy, whether that good is not good or bad or whatever. There's a fucking energy in the universe. You're living proof of it, dickhead. You're explaining away your own existence and calling me a fool for saying you've got a reason and purpose you're here. I've never seen anything created on this planet that didn't have a reason or a purpose, from the grass to the birds, the bees.
There is no reason or purpose to anything.
There's no reason, no purpose. Oh, no reason, no purpose. Mama didn't hug me enough.
You're so self-centered that you think that there's a purpose. There is no purpose.
This fucking G+ is full of mommy issues. I tell you.
There's no reason.
Mothers, fucking hug your sons, man. Don't let your dad beat him all day long.
But listen, look at an animal. An animal is fight or flight. It'll do whatever it has to do to survive. There's no reason or purpose to that.
You can explain the reason and purpose away, man, but some would say by definition that's unreasonable.
What, to eat? So your purpose is to eat? Like, what are you talking about? You're
explaining away reason and saying that nothing came from nothing just to eat this shit for no reason. That's what you're saying.
Well,
you can think that all you like, mate. My imagination works fine.
There was a process called evolution.
And I can imagine plenty of reasons, plenty of purposes, and I still don't know which one.
There's no reason or purpose to anything, okay? A bunch of random events that you think have meaning.
How did you come to the conclusion of that then?
Because I'm very pragmatic, unlike you. I don't believe that God talks to me.
That's a statement and not an answer. What's the reasoning behind you not thinking there's any reason?
Here's a reason, because there's no evidence to support anything you said. That's the reason. Thank you.
Oh, so I'm the spokesperson for God then, am I? So you're telling me I'm a...
said that there's a purpose, so give me evidence of that.
Is that my burden to bear?
Yes, it is.
Your proof for God relies on me having an argument.
I'm not trying to prove God. You are.
Oh, so you'd never thought about God before you met me then?
What do you mean thought about God?
I'm asking you why you don't believe in God.
What God are you talking about, first of all?
You're saying you don't believe in God, and I'm saying why
narrow it down. What God?
And you're MMA, fuck off.
A hypothetical God or a Christian or what?
MMA. Do one, dude. Seriously, not in the mood for you. Down.
I'm asking you a question to clarify.
No, I'm answering a question, dickhead. Shut the fuck up.
You need to clarify what you're talking about.
Basically,
are you talking to the Christian God, yes or no? Simple.
MMA.
Are you talking? Is it so that complex? Just answer the question. Yes or no? Simple. Go on, Phantom. Which one? Yes or no? Simple.
I like MMA. I don't know why MMA ever had MMA, why do you have a big problem with me? Just answer me that.
I don't have a problem with you so much. Only when you have tangents. Only when you have tangents.
Past 6 months, he blocked me.
Yeah, I haven't got around to it ever since. But it's only when you have tangents and you really go off at people. But, you know, I'll unblock your mother account. But in either case, clarify which God are we talking about here? The Christian God, or since you seem like a New Ager, are you talking about a hypothetical kind of the philosophy?
Right, I'll say this only once, mate, right? Children should speak when spoken to, okay?
Well, we're all adults here, so I don't see the point in making that kind of statement. So,
right,
can you
learn
clarify?
basic manners. Learn basic manners.
Clarify.
Right? Not eating with your fucking mouth full.
No, clarify which God you're talking about.
Right?
Simple. Clarify.
Right? Don't eat with your mouth.
Clarify which one you're talking about. Is it so hard?
Eat with your mouth full, boyo.
So tell us which one you're talking about. Are you afraid you're going to get stumped? Tell us. Are you talking about the Christian God?
You're talking about the Christian God.
Are you? Yes. Are you talking about the Christian God?
Christian God.
Are you talking about the Christian God?
No, I wasn't. I was talking.
Thank you.
Now
About
a
fucking
different
time.
question.
Now, which God
Okay,
are you
you're
talking
happy
about?
now, little.
No, clarify which one from now. Which one?
You're happy
Or
now?
is it a hypothetical?
The
mysticism
who
kind of
you
thing.
think you are, Emma?
No, tell us.
Come in anger and start fucking.
No, I want you to respond to the question.
No, he's not
clarify.
He's not interrupting at all. So answer his question.
Just clarify. Fuck, is it so hard? If you know, if Bulldog is talking about something, asking a question to someone else, I would want him and expect him to quickly clarify. Are you talking about some kind of mysticism, like a New Age type deal, or what? Oh, he's left. Jesus Christ on a stick. Fuck.
Yeah, Sydney, you there?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Sydney, bring MMA up to speed on what just happened.
Yeah, what the fuck? Is he a New Ager?
Well, no. What's his name? Tom Prophet was trying to justify the creator of everything, while at the same time acknowledging that existence is infinite, you know, in a circle, because there's no beginning and there's no end. Yet he insists that somewhere on that circle there's a beginning. There's a beginning point on that circle, which of course is impossible.
Oh, wowie.
I think that
pretty
much sums it up, pretty much, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, all you have to do is just fucking clarify, and it makes it as if it's Mission Impossible. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. But, no, okay. So it seems to be like a bit of a New Age type.
No, he's like a...
No?
He's like a no age, he's like a child in the sandbox.
Oh God! I don't think I've come across him before. I'm trying to think of where I have. He seems to have known me. I'm trying to think of where the fuck I know him from.
Phantom Prophet.
Yeah.
He's always.
I kind of recall the name, but maybe he's changed his photo, and so I can't associate.
No, he's probably not been around for a little while. He said.
Maybe, yeah.
But he's fully on. He's a full on. I'm pretty sure he was a full on Jesus theist when I bumped into him. Today he wasn't so much Jesus. He was more about I don't know, some energy cause that came from nowhere. I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Okay. Well, I see he's friends with Lost Horizon 52, so that says quite a lot about him. I'm on his profile now. Oh wow, he's deep in the conspiracy. That explains it.
Yeah. That'll be him.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm like his worst nemesis then. If this is all the shit he buys into.
Yeah, that's probably why he fled.
I'd love to fucking challenge him on some of this fucking conspiracy bullshit, but...
Well, if he comes back, we'll just start challenging him.